Welcome to Coffee and Conversation. My name is Honorine, and today I'm with Daniel, who is a PhD candidate in physics. So first, welcome Daniel, and thank you for being with me today.
Thank you for having me today.
Of course. So my first question for you is, can you introduce yourself and tell us more about you?
Yeah, sure. Well, I'm a physics PhD student at FSU, and I study statistical physics, where I do simulations on the HPC at FSU, where I simulate the spin one IC model, where each spin, where it's like a cube, like you could think of a Rubik's cube, where each point on the Rubik's cube has a value of 1, 0, or -1, and then I just try to find the configurations of this Rubik's cube. Of course, it's not like a 6 by 6; it's like 32 by 32 by 32 size lattice or Rubik's cube, and I'm studying the properties of this system, and I've been doing that for a couple years now. Yeah.
Okay, and what got you into that subject?
Well, yeah, so it's been actually a pretty long journey. I think it started like 10 years ago when I started doing undergrad, and when I started undergrad, and I had a really good physics professor who was doing condensed matter. And well, first there was a general course that I took from him, and then I started doing research with him, and he was doing different types of research, like it was simulations in condensed matter, but it was something called Monte Carlo, which deals with randomness. So you could think of like rolling dice, and from there you find out from that each step in the Monte Carlo simulation, you roll a dice and then you change your system in a certain way, and from there it's like a pretty clever way to find out general properties of like a theoretical system on your computer. So ever since that, I felt like I fell in love with that idea and wanted to continue doing research in that field. And this was in California, actually, but then I went to Florida for grad school, and I was able to continue doing research in this field.
Yeah. And is it a popular field, or are you one of the rare to work on that? And it's kind of something that's growing right now, that will be popular at some point, but right now you're still in the early phases of that field.
Yeah, I think it's the popular, Monte Carlo has always been very popular, but the specific field that I work in, which is, it's called, like, the model I'm studying is Blume-Capel model, and it's it has a long history. Like the Ising model was invented, I think, 100 years ago, and that's one every student learns in their physics classes, and then they learn how to solve it, and it's pretty basic. But then that's like on a one-dimensional chain, and then there's been like generalizations to 2 dimensions, and it came up in popularity, like I would say in the 1940s, and someone solved it. And then again in the 70s, there was a lot of interest in studying the 3-dimensional version of it, and also the 2D version with, instead of Rubik's cube, that's a square lattice. They'll think of like a lattice where different shapes, like there's a triangle or maybe a hexagonal lattice, and different people like come up with new ways to study this. And I'm coming in with all this history behind it, and now I'm trying to and I look up like there's this website called Google Scholar, which shows like the very who's publishing. And there's a lot of people publishing in my field right now, so I think it's popular. It's
okay.
yeah.
And so beside being a graduate student, who is Daniel Silva? What are your hobbies? What are your passion? What do you do outside of school?
Yeah, my passions. I've always liked. Well, I have a lot of interests outside of school. I guess a few of them would be. I've always enjoyed running a lot. I like. I used to do cross country in high school, which is sort of.
I run cross country as well. I love running.
Yeah, yeah, it's pretty. It's a good way to relax.
Do you do long distance or shorter distance?
Actually, I've done a half marathon when I've been here. I've been to Tallahassee half marathon.
Wow.
Yeah, that was great.
Congrats. That's a big step.
Thank you. Yeah, yeah, and I really enjoyed training for it. Um, and other than that, I guess I played soccer in high school too, so that involved a lot of running. So I really enjoy like sports and physical activity. Um, and then I've like during this pandemic, I've tried to pick up playing an instrument like piano. I've started taking lessons, and I've always liked music, and that's been along with science and sports. I've always been interested in music, so
that's great because it's very two different worlds. Science and arts are kind of like usually we see them as opposites. Do you think they complete each other? Like, do you think for you in your life, having music helps with all your research?
yeah, yeah. I think I've also noticed that with other physics grad students that a lot of them really enjoy music, and I do think it completes my life for sure in the sense that I get it's a completely different way of thinking about things. So I don't know. It lets me just like not think about anything, but just like play music or listen to music, and yeah, it's been great. It's been taking those lessons, of course. I don't know. I would say it's really fun.
So my last question for you is, how do you picture your life in 5 years from today?
I guess I would like to be working at a company doing research similar to what I'm doing, or I'm like I said, my research is very general. It can be applied to almost any field, and I think something like there's big data. It's like a hot topic now, and almost every company uses because there's so much data from like apps and just from the companies are bringing in. And I would be interested to get a job applying the skills I've learned, either doing that or doing research into machine learning or I guess I guess I would like to go into that field. Or I could also see myself like being a part-time teacher at a community college as well. Like I enjoy teaching students as well. I think it's really fun. So I would love to do that as well.
All right. Well, thank you so much for your time, Daniel. It was great meeting you and learning more about your research, a field I'm not familiar with. So I learned a great deal today. So thank you. And I wish you good luck with it. When are you going to graduate, or do you have a date in mind?
Probably sometime this fall semester I would be graduating.
Oh, wow. Yeah. Oh yeah, so it's the end. It's the final, the last 5K of the half marathon, the harder part. Well, good luck with that. I wish you tons of success. And thank you again for your participation in Coffee and Conversation.
Thank you for your time as well. I appreciate it a lot.
Thank you.